Hi, boys and girls. This week's story is going to be a little bit different than some stories that we've read in the past. We are going to talk about the two types of stories that we read. The first type of story that we read is called fiction. And fiction, those are those make-believe stories. They have lots of really good characters. They have a beginning, a middle, an end. They're make-believe. They're usually some things that are pretty crazy that wouldn't really happen. So those might be our Junie B stories, the Mercy Watson stories that we read at school. Let's see, the peanut butter and homework sandwich that we read a couple of weeks ago through our computer. I want you to go ahead and think for a couple of minutes what maybe some other fiction stories that you have heard, maybe some of your favorite stories. A Bad Case of Stripes, that's a really good one. Things that you know when you read it, they're super silly that aren't going to actually happen. And the other type of story that we have is called nonfiction. And these are books about real people, real animals, real places, things that can actually really happen in the world around us. So things that, like the story we're going to read this week, this is about hearing. This is a book that's written by Sharon Gordon. And this is all about how people hear sounds. So I want you to close your eyes for a second and I want you to listen very quietly to the sounds in the room that you're in. So if you're at your kitchen table, if you're listening in your bedroom or maybe the living room, I want you to close your eyes for a quick second. And I want you to listen to the sounds that you're hearing. What did you hear? I want you to go ahead and I want you to leave me a comment on the things that you heard. I heard the hamster spinning in his wheel over there, and that's about it right now. It's about 10 o'clock at night when I'm doing this video, so my kids are sleeping right now, but it's the quietest part of the day, so it was the only chance I had to make a video for you guys where everybody was asking me to do something for them. So what would be... The hamster just fell from his cage. What would be something if we were reading this story at school? What were sounds that you might hear at school versus being a sound that you would hear at home? If we were in our classroom, we would be hearing lots of very different sounds, right? We would hear kids in the hallway. We would hear the bell ringing maybe. We might hear the phone ringing. Our phone rings a lot in our classroom too, doesn't it, right? Maybe sometimes the heat would start blowing from that big machine at the top of the ceiling. Okay, so I'm going to read this story out loud, and I want you to think about what you learn about how people hear sounds. So I'm going to stop during the reading, just like I usually do, and I'm going to ask you questions, and you can talk about it with the adult that you're listening with it. And you can go ahead and write down questions if you have them. You can leave the comments and I will try my hardest to come back and answer those for you, okay? It says, listen, do you hear that? Hearing is one of the 5 senses. The other senses are seeing, touching, smelling, and tasting. You hear with your ears. You have one ear on each side of your head. This helps you hear things all around you. Can you wiggle your ears? Look in the mirror. You can only see part of your ear. That part is called the outer ear. Did you know that your ear goes inside your head? The outer ear is shaped like a baseball glove. It catches the sounds around you. The sounds go into the little hole in your ear. This moves through a tube into your middle ear. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here today. I know we didn't get very far, but this is pretty cool. There's a lot of really good stuff. So I want you to stop and I want you to think about one thing that you learned from the book from today. Okay? Now I want you to either write that down, or I want you to talk about it with the person that you're watching this with, or I want you to leave it in the comments and we'll talk about it when we get back tomorrow, okay?